Okay, so what we have here is a Stromberg Carlson 1121 PG. This was my grandma Gertrude's, and it spent its original part of its life up in Connecticut. I've had protective custody of it for, I don't know, 30, 30 years or so. So you've got your radio on one side. It does have a shortwave band. It's AM, FM, shortwave. This is for the speaker. What's nice is this little piece that got busted off is still saved of the wooden cabinet. Phonograph is on this side, and this side is for the album storage. And I actually have all the original albums, 78s and stuff. That some of it actually came with it. So let's turn this. Let's turn this on. Now, honestly, this is not something you should do until you go through it and recap it and everything. And I do know it's got a bad capacitor, electrolytic, and a stuck button, and a broken string. The dial does move, so it's got two sets of strings. One is for the dial, and then the other is for the to move the variable capacitor to do the tuning, and that one is broken. So it does have a bad electrolytic. We're going to hear that as soon as I turn it on. You can hear that 60 cycle hum. And really, again, this ideally you should fix all this stuff beforehand, but you can hear that, and we're not going to be able to tune it because it's jammed. This button is jammed, and so the variable capacitor won't move at all till it's taken out, and that's fixed. Let me go ahead and grab the camera, and let's go behind it for a little tour of the back. So let's see if I can do this without washing it out. So there's our model tag. It's kind of cool. It does have a, the original documents would have been in that envelope. That's still intact. I'm trying to remember, do we have a tube layout on this? No, the tube diagram isn't there, but you can see where the you have a set of a string for the dial, and then there's another one that would go down to the variable capacitor. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out and clean it up, fix that stuck button, and restring. And the first thing obviously is going to fix that electrolytic. You know what? Let's take a look at the... So here's the turntable. It does have a cartridge up underneath there. That is like the original. That's as old as this unit. And in fact, you can see where it came from. Guido's Music Shop, Main Street, Ansonia, phone 1401. So that shows you how old it is. It used to be. Ansonia, Connecticut had 734 and 735 as a prefix, so it would have been Regency. You would have went Regency 4 or Regency 5, 1401. That's washed out. This would have been where I'm pointing the light to, would have been the 78, 33, 45, 16. That would have been the speed select there, and that shaft broke off. The knob used to be around, but I think it has lost itself somewhere between Connecticut and Georgia, and I'm hoping this kite string here is going to work good for the restringing of the dial. So I will pull it out and we'll get started on it. Okay, so have the chassis out of the Stromberg Carlson, and the first thing we're going to do is blow out all this dirt with some compressed air that stuck push button preset. It was just hung on the side of the cabinet. It wasn't all, the chassis wasn't all the way in there straight. So I'm going to blow this off, and also let me show you. And again, the transformer's down this end, so that's the end we want to have. I'm holding the the camera here, so I need to hold the chassis. I'll be putting it up on the stand here in a second. But this is the first time I ever saw the actual old wax and paper capacitors have kind of bulged out. I mean, you see that, you know, with electrolytics, but that's the first time seeing that with that I've seen that with the wax and foil ones. So there's a bunch of them here somewhere. I can't see in this glare. Is that one in there? There's one definitely right there. So I'll be getting a fistful of 0.01 600 volt capacitors and replacing all of those. And I know my electrolytics down in there. There's one over here. Those, you know, we know already to be bad, and even if they sounded, even if there was no 60 cycle hum, we'd be replacing those regardless. So let me get the camera on the stand and we'll blow this off, and then I'm going to give it a mild wash with some crud cutter, and then rinse it down and blow it out. Okay, first step is to lightly blow this out with compressed air, especially in the area of the variable capacitor here. Am I still on the camera? Yeah. All right, good. All right, now next I'm going to give it a little bit of crud cutter here. Just going kind of easy. You don't want to get it down in the IF cans, but I am going to squirt it down in the variable capacitor. Not going to hurt anything there. This stuff really does cut through the dirt. And it's biodegradable. It basically turns to water. And then gonna give it a little scrubby brush. Scrub. So, you know, I'm gonna scrub this. You get the idea. I'm going to turn off the camera and scrub, so you don't need to watch all of that. Okay, so I scrubbed it with a toothbrush for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, something like that. Now I'm going to give it just a little light squirt of the crud cutter, and it will kind of just eat into any dirt that's left in there. And I'm trying to be careful because there's some cool decals on the back here. One that says wire recorder here on the back for the input next to the phonograph. So give it one more little scrub in the corner up front here. And I left the tubes in while I did this, obviously, as you can see, just because I hadn't pulled them out and made a map of them yet, and it's not going to hurt anything to leave them in there. And I'm going to squirt some contact cleaner up underneath there. So now I've got some water, and I'm just going to kind of give this a mist, if I can get the spray bottle to work. And of course it doesn't want to work. Take this inside and rinse it out. So I'm going to stop the camera for a moment. Okay, as you probably guessed, I wasn't able to that spray bottle bad is bad. So gingerly wash this off. So that's pretty much it as far as that goes. I'll do it a little bit more. I'll turn it upside down and blow it out, and then it's going to sit for a good while. I will spray some contact cleaner in my potentiometer here, in my various tone and selector switches. There's a bunch of switches, wafer switches up underneath. I'll spray into. I'll pull all the tubes, spray the contact cleaner into the tube sockets, work the tubes around, and that will be it until capacitors arrive. Okay, as you see, there's this long wafer switch here, and I'm going to use this as leftover from when I had my car shop. This worth. There's deoxit, which everybody seems to use, and I'm out of that right now. So anyhow, spray your switch contacts, and they're on both sides, it looks like. You don't have to flood it, and then just work that switch back and forth. And I'll do the same thing with the volume control. I'll get some in there. Work that back and forth. And let's see, and I got a tone control there as well. So just give it, a spray a couple times. Work it back and forth. That will really clean. I mean, this stuff works really good. Just like deoxit. And it's a blistery, windy, sunny November day here in North Georgia, and the sun will be over here shortly. So I am just going to leave this out here for the for the sun to kind of beat on this, and go start getting a parts order together on it. And there also are two wipers down here on the end of each end of the electrolytic. I would imagine that's for just cutting down on static and such. So I'm going to spray a little contact cleaner on those, and let's see if I can do that while doing this. So right there, and right there, and then just work it back and forth. And that's going to be it for a long while until I get my parts. I will make a good, I'll see if I can find a schematic for it online. Otherwise, I'll just kind of take a lot of photographs and hand draw a schematic of anything I'm going to touch.